That'd be really odd. Oh, there's a word that means relatives. Is one of their kin an old lady that was a berry mogul that you call Nana Berries? Mogul. Mogul isn't a word. Kin. Kin is a word. Means relatives. Hey lady. Oh hey, are you shopping too? Nope, I'm not. I am not shopping. I do not need any new garb. Please get out of my way. I do not need more garb. I like to live a fairly chaste lifestyle. You know, I am just working these in perfectly. You don't even notice that I'm sneaking these words in here, do you? So I got pretty normal garb. I'm not worried about having fancy garb. I want to live a fairly chaste lifestyle, pretty simple. Maybe have a little house on the prairie. And then we'll have blue bunnies, and purple bunnies, and green bunnies, and y'all tell me about them rabbits. Troipus! I'm sorry, but some of you might not understand that if you haven't read Of Mice and Men, but that's seriously what that seriously comes up in that book. It's like, he asked the guy to tell him about the rabbits, and he's talking about how they're gonna have blue rabbits and purple rabbits and green rabbits, and we're gonna live on a tiny house. No! How about you tell the story? No, you tell it better. You've already told half the story, but you tell it better. Please tell me the story, George. I know that sounds like I'm being a horrible person, but we watched the movie version of it, and that's actually what happened in the movie. It kind of sounded exactly like that. So they wanted to be nice and happy. They wanted to have a pretty chaste lifestyle, out on a little ranch, a little plot of land of their own, have little multicolored bunnies because that's a highly realistic goal to have. They just wanted the necessaries. They really just wanted whatever was truly needed. They just wanted the necessaries. But unfortunately, they really couldn't get it because, like, to get a goal like that, they had to get a lot of money, and they wouldn't really have too much money. I mean, they had a very laborious lifestyle. They needed to do a lot of work. It was pretty laborious for them to make as much money as they had, and they were only like halfway there. So, I mean, by the end of the day, like every day, they went back. They were like basically farm hands, and they'd go out and help on farms, and they'd just travel around different places because Lenny was a dumbass, and he would just try and touch the soft things, and he would accidentally rip some poor girl's shirt because it's soft and he doesn't know his own strength, and then they'd get run out of town because Lenny's apparently a rapist for liking to touch soft things. So that's what happened at the very beginning. They like get run out of town because Lenny's a rapist because he was touching some girl's dress and it ripped. So that He liked to live a fairly jaunty lifestyle. He liked to be carefree and cheerful, but he kept being taken down because he didn't quite know how to control himself because, well, how would you control yourself? I mean, you're this giant person. Like, he's a giant, and he has the mind of a child. So, of course he's going to be pretty jaunty. He just doesn't know what's right and what wrong, so he just ends up doing the wrong thing, and it ends up screwing him and George over, and they never really get to the rabbits, which kind of depressing ending. Not going to spoil it, but I will tell you this, they didn't have multicolored rabbits at the end. I can guarantee you of that. They did not have multicolored rabbits. Why am I just randomly talking about Of Mice and Men? I just start talking about it for no reason. I just realized how retarded this is. And I can no longer use magnitude, because the extent of that attack's power, it could have been really good, but it often turned out to be pretty bad, so the extent of its power wasn't as good as Earthquake, which is all good all the time. So we really couldn't measure the magnitude of magnitude too well sometimes. So I'm just looking at these words and trying to figure out a way to work them into the conversation. I'm rationalizing them. I'm making up explanations or excuses, usually for some screw up or bad decision. But this time it's not a screw up. It's kind of a bad decision because it's not really the smartest thing. I remember that battle you had with me on blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and you need to talk less and be sexy more, because I like it when my ladies are sexy and you ain't in no swimsuit, which kinda makes me sad. That's not exactly the best thing, because I like big boobies. I mean, I like huge boobies. I like immense boobies. I like them immense, and this is just getting worse and worse. I am trying too hard to get these into the... No, not like that. Not get these into, you dirty bastards. I didn't say it, you did. I just pointed out that you were thinking it. So talk to me, buddy. I'm an art dealer, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. I really don't care about that art. This is, hey, look, don't go near the cave in the cove. The cave in the cove? The cave in the cove with the stove and a dove. I dove into the cave in the cove looking for my long lost stove. I should just start being a freestyle rapper. I like suddenly thought of rap as being, I have no clue, but it's like rap is one letter away from rape, and like when you're a rapper you're kind of like raping my eardrums because I don't really care for rap music that much. I'm just a grunt, so I don't think the boss knows what I'm doing. Wait, what? Dyslexia. But being on Team Aqua, I know I'll get the chance to do big things. I'm gonna be doing immense things. Even though I'm just part of this faction, this small group, a subgroup, often in conflict with the large group, I'm just Team Aqua, this faction running around here talking to myself like some sort of crazy hillbilly. I walk around smoking my pipe going foo 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 foo, because that's how you blow puff the smoke in people's faces. We moved more loot into our secret hideout today. Who are you? I was just talking to myself. I'm just another one of them crazy people. You know that peculiar cabin in the cove? The cave in the cove that I dove in for the stove? I got a cave in a cove and I go for the stove. But then that Team Aqua lot came along and made their renovations. It was a very laborious for them to completely transform that cave in the cove into such an adequate hideout and whatnot, because there, Wilmer, leap out of the water now. Huh? What do you want? You're messing up our training so you can like get lost, you know? Like, totally like get out of my face, buddy, cause that is like so totally not a good thing to be doing, because I so totally don't want to deal with your shit right now. Like, you are just so old and gruddy, and like, I don't know why I'm still talking to you like this, but this is like my accent right here, and I don't really think I have a vocab word for it, but this is how I'm gonna be talking right now, because it's how I'm talking right now. You know why? Because I have a soda, and I was obliged to do it that way. Huh? What? What's that? I'm not near awake yet. You can have this. So he felt obliged to give me that TM. Get it? Cause the game's programming obliged him to give that to me, because programming wise he was required to give that to me, and so he was obliged to give that to me. I know I'm just sneaking these words in here. You can't even tell that I'm sneaking them in here. You, like, don't even know it's happening. It's like some sort of undersea hypnosis gobbledygook. Hey, down in front, I can't see the TV! God fucking damn it! Kids getting all up in my TV! Back in my day, we didn't have all these big HD TVs, 54-inch. Look at this! Look at this TV! It's got depth to it. Like, you don't see that nowadays. We got all these shitty TVs, and they're like 50 feet deep and 20 feet across, and that's about as good as you get. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was snoozing, and I was being a piece of shit and making fun of old people. Consider me a purist, but I prefer battles and tough trainers. That's just me. Okay, do not care about the contest. I'll probably have to show a contest, but I'm not going to enjoy it that much because I really don't care for the concerts that much. Concerts? Not concerts, contests. Even as we grow old and wrinkled, the sea remains forever young with the vivid brilliance of life. Whoa ho ho ho, whoa ho ho ho. Hoo hoo hoo. It was 60 years ago that my husband proposed to me here. The sea remains as beautiful as ever. Muffa-fuffa-fa, muffa-fuffa-fa. Muffa? You getting all up in my grill, you muffa? You muffas getting all up in my grizzle? Getting all up in my grizzle with that dizzle and the faux shizzle nizzles? Yeah, that's right, I said it. You don't even know what I said, because I was being... Yeah, I don't see a word that really fits that. That nice old couple, they're so quaint, they're so old-fashioned, but in a cute way. I heard there's a tower somewhere out in the Caesar that's called Sky Pillar, I hear. You hear me, son? I hear, I say, some. This paper at dirt far where we want no deep down 45 minutes and nobody understood a word that is said, but we had fun filling out the papers and playing with the pencils. And then on the other side, on the middle of the other side, away from everything else on the other side, were the following words. Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself after committing your crime? I stepped up to the officer. I said, sir, you think I'm just sitting here on the bench? I mean, I'm just sitting here on the bench. I'm just sitting here on the Group W bench because you don't think I'm moral enough to go over, kill people, burn women and children houses after being a litterbug. He looked at me and said, kid, we don't like your kind, so we gonna send your prince off to Washington. And friends, somewhere in Washington, there's a building called Whitehall Street, and in that building there's a copy of my prince. And I'm telling you all this Because you might be in a similar situation, or you might know someone in a similar situation. And if you are found in a similar situation, all you have to do is walk into the shrink, sing a bar of Alice's restaurant, and walk out. And if just one person does it, they think he's some kind of freak, and they won't take him. And I actually don't remember the rest of it. That song is like half an hour long. And it's not even singing. It's not even singing. So I got so much done. These episodes, I went, what, like 20 feet this way into a town and then just spent the rest of the time here? Seriously? What the hell? I don't even know. I am incapable of getting anything done. Although I did get quite a lot of these taken care of. And I did it with quite a bit of enthusiasm. In fact, you could go so far as to say I did it with a lot of zeal, because zeal means enthusiasm. And that's definitely not on this list because, as you know, all these words that I've been doing, you can't even tell that I've been trying to work them into the phrasing. I mean, simple logic right here. I'm just sitting here on the Group W bench. I don't even know why I've talked about half this shit that I've talked about. There's so many random things that happen to me during the day, and then I just get home and I feel like I should at least try to talk about them, and then I just get caught up in talking about things that have absolutely nothing to do with anything that happened today, and I give up. F10. Stop this episode. Stop the madness!